Welcome. In this video, we're going to be setting up a custom function within Google Sheets, and we're going to be using Google Apps Script in order to do that. So this is an example of the custom function. There's the formula that we're doing the calculations with the values that are passed in. We get 4 values passed in, we do the computation, and then we return back the future value. Future values can be returned back in cell E. We've got the 4 values that are passed in. We can drag this down as well. So let's say we had another one where we had a 5,000 principal. Let's set the interest rate to 8%, the compound frequency, and then the number of years that we want to create the calculation. So the total value after 10 years is going to be 10,955. Use Google Apps Script in order to construct custom functions. I'll show you how to do that coming up. This example, we're going to create a custom formula that calculates the future value of an investment using compound interest. So we're going to need some data to work with. We've got 4 columns of data here. So the first one is principal, then the interest rate, the compounding frequency, and the number of years. We're going to take the 4 values, enter into a formula, and this is going to be a custom formula that we're going to be creating with Apps Script, and it's going to be calculating out the future value. And then as these numbers change, these values change, we're going to be also changing the value of the future value. So let's open up the Apps Script editor. So this is going to be using a bound script. Under extensions, hit Apps Script. That's going to open up the Apps Script editor, and this is where we can begin creating our customized formula. So we start by setting up a function and then giving the function a name. So in this case, we're going to calculate the future value, and that's going to be the formula or the function that we're going to be using, and we're going to have the formula here within the function. So we do need some parameters, and the parameters are going to be the values that we have within the top columns. So we've got these 4 values that we're working with. So I'm going to just paste these in, and then I'll update these as variables. So we've got our principal, and then we've got the rate of interest. So I'm going to change these to be lowercase. And then we've got the frequency, so the compounding frequency. So we can comma separate that out and also start that with a C. And we're going to bring these 2 words together. So compounding frequency, so that we have variable names. That just makes sense. And then last but not least is going to be the years. So these are the values that we're going to be passing in to our calculating future value formula. And then we're going to be returning back a value. And this is going to be whatever the future value is. So we need to set a variable for that. And this is going to be a variable that we can set up and change. And we're going to be using let and then future value. So whatever our future value is going to be, then we're going to return that back. And we'll update the formula afterwards. So right now, take the function name, save the Apps Script code, go into your Google Spreadsheet, select the cell that you want to use the formula within, the equal sign, and then type in the formula name or the function name. And then here we can add in the values that we want to use. So the first one is going to be the principal, comma separate it, then the rate, comma separate it, then the compounding frequency, comma separate it, and then the years. And then we can get rid of these variable values. So what it's going to do is right now it's going to return back 0. That's because we don't have the formula in there quite yet. So let's set up the formula next. And we can use a variable, and this is going to be a const, so it's not going to be a changing variable. And we can just use a variable n and get the compounding frequency and multiply that by the number of years. And then we want to get the returned value, so that's going to be r, and this is where we take the rate and we divide it by the compounding frequency. So it's going to give us a value that we can use in our formula. And then our final formula, and this can also be const because we're not going to be updating it. And we can set this to whatever the principal is, and then multiply it using the math method by the power of 1 plus r to n. And so now this is going to be the formula that we need. These are the values that we're setting up. and then this is going to be the new return value. So let's go and take a look and see what we've got within the spreadsheet. So there we've got our future values, and then as we were to adjust these, so if it's more years, the value is going to be higher, and then we've got the compounding frequency and the interest rate. So even if we were to adjust the interest rate, once again, it's going to increase the future value. And then you can play around these numbers. You can also update the formula as needed. So this is just a typical formula that would be used for getting that future value of an investment. And you can customize it as needed, returning the values that you're looking for within the function, custom function.